cringeworthy. Andy with his sweater, sleeveless tank top sweater.
Enola Gay was a huge hit for the most pretentiously named band in history. Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark.
Oh, what an earnest young man he was, trying to change the world with his music.
It sold 5 million copies. But beneath the uplifting melody was a darker meaning.
Everybody's dancing to this pop song without having a clue that, to some extent, it was a celebration of the atomic bomb.
Enola Gay was the name of the aeroplane that dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima.
And, you know, I was like, we're all dancing to death in a very bizarre way.
To OMD, this song was a deeply subversive work of art. And they were determined that nothing would detract from this musical masterpiece.
We were pretentious 19-year-olds, and we considered ourselves to be artists, not pop stars. There was a rush of wanting to look like pop stars, with lots of hair and big shoulders, and of course this was just anathema to us. We were horrified. And then when people started saying, oh yes, you're a new romantic band, we're like, no, we're not, don't you dare call us a new romantic band. We are serious and northern and intellectual, and we don't wear frilly shirts.
We wanted the music to stand on its own, so we wanted something to be completely plain. And we thought, what is a completely plain, ordinary look? And we thought, bank clerks. That's what we should be, bank clerks.
See what we can do with a man and C&A.
A stalwart of the British High Street, C&A was the store of choice for the provincial bank clerk.
The nearest clothes shop was C&A, and we would just buy off the shelf, you know, plain, boring clothes.
So nerd, we went nerd, and so we just used to go around all the shops in Liverpool just looking to find the sort of nerdiest, most bank clerky kind of things we could find.
The classic OMD look was a shock of the dull. Monochrome shirt, a sensible side parting, and a nice tie.
That's exactly what we wanted to look like. We wanted to have no definitive style.
But OMD were not content to look like total bankers. For the release of their 1981 single, Maid of Orleans, the band decided to explore a new range of ordinary.
Christmas jumpers.
I just happened to have the very jumper, but it's so dull, it's spectacularly nondescript. That was what we were trying to say. I've still got my dinner on from the photo shoot.
For OMD, these were the perfect clothes in which to present a new kind of music for the coming digital age. OMD had emerged at the dawn of the consumer electronics boom. Theirs was a sound of bold simplicity. It matched the binary code at the heart of the digital revolution.
It didn't matter if you had any kind of technical ability, and Andy and I certainly didn't have any technical ability. So it was very much sort of two-fingered playing and two fingers up at the establishment. Really.
I think we were considered to be outsiders and intellectuals, and in some respects we were the embodiment on the top of the pop stage of the tortured, lonely, intellectual, spotty boy artist in his bedroom. So I think those are the people who gravitated towards us. There was a certain amount of irony in the fact that actually by trying to not look like pop stars and not create or follow any particular fashion, we created one that impressionable teenage boys followed.
One of those boys whose bedroom became a shrine to OMD was Neil Taylor.
OMD continually stood out. They didn't fit into the mould. And I related to this, you know.
In the early 80s, Neil worked on the very frontiers of computer technology.
At that point of my time, the jobs I was doing as a very early adopter of semi-computerised equipment, you know, and this was a very geeky job that I was doing and I was very proud of doing. And I quite enjoyed being the geeky look. I'm still a bit of a geek even nowadays, so it's carried on. Very dodgy moustache, which I somewhat regret now.
For Neil, OMD were the first band ever to make geek chic.
We have some cringeworthy video from my youth.
Unwatched for over a decade, these pictures record the night of Neil's 21st birthday party.
As far as I can recollect, of my generation, there was only actually myself who's actually got a shirt and the skinny tie. So I'm making a fashion statement going, look, I am not a new romantic, I am more cooler, I like orchestral manoeuvres in the dark.
Though Neil was alone in his look, his clean-cut image had some unexpected consequences.
You were dating girls and, you know, so you just wanted to be clean looking, and if you went in with a sort of tie on and a buttoned-up shirt, you got a little bit of respect from the actual parents as well, which is quite good with some of the young ladies that were about at the time. It did the job, let's put it that way.
For Neil, OMD had produced a sophisticated sound and style of the future. But the real floor filler at Neil's disco came from a band who dismissed the pretensions of OMD and embodied the go-getting excess of 80s Britain.
It's all very, very much a time warp. It's the girls with all the frilly stuff, dancing to Duran Duran.